All right. Survivor. It's our second episode. It was really good. I feel like it went by super fast because the first one was like
2 hours.
the premiere episode, so it was longer. So I felt like this one didn't even feel like an hour. It felt like 30 minutes to me, but it was still it was a good episode. I'm still learning. I'm still getting into it.
Loving the cast. I love the cast.
I love the cast, and that's why every time they go to evict someone, I'm actually like super torn. Like I'm kind of like, I don't really want anyone to go yet. Like, can I have a minute? Like, can we put in some filler people? Like they normally have a couple more people, right? And like, can we put in some filler people that we can evict, or whatever, however they call it. Before I can get rid of these people, like I know they have to go, but like, can I have a moment? No moment. It's like, get attached, cut that cord, move on. I'm like, duh.
Literally right off the bat of the episode, we have Ricardo and what's her face talking, and Mr. Brad is eavesdropping on them, and he goes and tells Ricardo's number one like friend, like, hey, they were talking,
yeah,
they were talking about some stuff.
Brad's part. That was
and Ricardo finds out. This is like within the first 5 minutes, like there's already like some eavesdropping going on and like some drama.
And my thing is, I loved it, and it was super smart and super entertaining, and it was great, but he should have just kept it to himself. But I feel like he kind of couldn't have, because he like ran off. You know what I mean? So
I don't think you tell like Ricardo's best friend though.
Because I think that's the problem, is he hasn't realized that.
Yeah. I don't know. That was just like,
I don't know. It was like
interesting opening. And then we also have what's his face? We have Xander lurking around for an idol or something, and he finds
one.
He finds basically a message saying like, you'll receive like an idol if the other two are found, basically.
Yeah.
And until then, you can't vote at the tribal council.
So and it's like you're getting a reward, but kind of not really.
It's like you get the reward once everyone else has an opportunity to get it also.
And until then, kind of might have screwed yourself.
Yeah. So he tells Evie and David.
To me, Evie is playing the best.
The best. Oh yeah. I feel like
Stan.
So she's trusting.
Vibes. She's giving me, if we're gonna pull from what we were just watching on Big Brother, she's giving me Tiffany vibes of like mastermind, and I'm loving it.
Tiffany and Vanessa vibes for sure. She's giving and it's very I would almost say like not Tiffany and Vanessa in the way that she's presenting like herself. Like she is very like it reminds me of the couple on Amazing Race, where they're just like so like perfectly put together and like seem so trusting, but like they're willing to do like whatever it takes.
Or what was her name?
Hung and Chi.
Loved them.
Loved them. They like Evie, first off, in this episode, finds out from Xander about this and immediately basically goes and tells the other two people on the team. And she's basically in like a situation where she's like, so right now everyone trusts me, and I know pretty soon like I'm gonna have to decide like where to step, but right now I'm just relaxing in the middle, and no one is talking about her at all.
No one is worried about. Everyone is like, that's my right hand. Like, which is exactly where
you want to be.
But that's hard to
it's a dangerous position to be in though, because as soon as you like step one way or the other too much, like you expose yourself,
and you gotta pick the right one.
Yeah. So right now I really like Evie's gameplay. It's very like held back, not flashy at all. It's very just like, I'm gonna stick with, and on my tribe, I'm going to basically be friends with everyone and just hope that I can last.
I truly did love her moment of like, I am more with the girls because this girls can never stick together on these things. And
Thank God.
the girl that is the only girl in a group of guys always ends up being screwed. And I really am glad, we'll get to it, that she does so far still stick with that, because it's just stuff we need to see. It's more change. Like I obviously don't know the history of Survivor, but what she's describing is the history of like the rest
Every
of these
reality
watch. So it's like it's yeah, you hit the nail on the head, and also like good for you for trying to change that narrative, but also just being smart about it. Like I feel like she, if anyone's gonna be able to kind of pull that off, she's giving me the vibes of someone that is gonna be able to pull that shit off.
Yeah.
She's my winner pick for now, but that's just me.
Yeah, and I will say, I mean, we could skip to the end to cover that if you want.
I mean,
basically, Voce or David goes home, which
yeah,
honestly,
David, because they called him Voce. That's why I was confused last
I
week.
hate when they do this on shows, when they change their names. It's like, I get it, you don't know like their nicknames going into it, but like, I don't know. It's just
especially
weird.
when they're nothing alike. Like that's clearly either his last name or something. You know what I mean? Like
it is. I think it's his last name.
Like I would never get that from David. Like I would never.
It's the same thing with like Hannah and Chada. Chada's her last name, and
Yes.
they just like started referring to her as Chada like halfway through the season. I'm like, I mean, that's a little bit easier than I guess David and Voce, or like Jackson and Michi. Like it's just
it's fucking confusing.
Especially like midway, or like after I've already been introduced to him as David. So, I don't know. Basically,
blindsided.
Yeah, they're already down one player in Abraham, so it's just the five of them, or no, the four of them, because Xander can't vote. So it's pretty much a dead set. Like he's out, and he's the only vote.
They initially wanted to go for Xander, and then Tiffany just got paranoid that he had some kind of extra power that he was going to pull out, and it was going to screw her. So she's like, I'd rather go for Voce, David, whatever.
I feel like it is smarter, even like, I mean, he has like an extra vote, and like
he couldn't use it then though.
No, but like in the future, like he can potentially use those things. So I feel like it's beneficial to keep him, and also him being like a very big physical threat, because now it is just him and the three ladies, right?
Yeah. And I agree. I see both sides of it. I see what Evie was saying about like, he has so many powers and he's good. Like we should cut him so that can't come back to bite us. He can't use that against us. But then I also see what you're saying. And the fact if he has all these things, I keep him on my side, I can use that to my advantage. It just depends on where you think that person is going to fall, or how you can manipulate them, or how they feel relationship wise to you, on what direction you're going to do that.
I don't think Xander and Voce trusted Tiffany. And I feel like Tiffany kind of got that from Evie, like passing on that information. And it just so happened that they were outnumbered. I think had Xander been able to vote, there might have been a different, Evie may have had to expose her vote, or which I'm glad. I feel like Evie got, I'm going to say lucky, like not to discredit her strategy, but like in that she has the votes now where she basically was like, yeah, like I'm just going to go with them. But
well, that, and then also the fact that she needed her vote, and it was only her and Deshaun. That's
Liana?
No, the guy from the other team when they went to the summit.
Deshaun, yeah.
Yeah, it was Deshaun. Okay, that's what I thought. Still getting used to these names, people. So if I butcher them, I'm sorry. That's why I'm like, oh, is it? I don't know. The fact that she was able to know that like what was going to happen when they got up there, and that there was only two of them, so she could easily give him that, knowing she needed her vote. So there was no reason for her to need to do that. like you said, was like another almost like getting lucky moment. Like it's all falling into place. Like it's not that she's not doing stuff, but it's also like those are kind of get lucky things too, where it just happened to be that on top of him finding the idol and not having a vote where they had the majority on her side. So, you know, like it all really is like on top of her great gameplay and stuff, like in social game, like it's the luck. Mm-hmm. So that's why I'm like, I want to see where this goes. This is going very well. But yeah, I mean, daily challenge, what they call it? Is it the daily challenge? What do they call it? Just the
I think it's the immunity challenge.
The immunity challenge. Yeah. So it was basically another obstacle course, but it was on the water. Cool. It was cool. I liked it. I like Tiffany, but I'm not gonna lie. I'm all for like I think my shirt says girl power, like girl magic, girl power, whatever. I'm all for that, but I'm gonna be honest. She was struggling. Hard to watch, and I was like, I would have been irritated. I've been like, bitch, if you don't get on this thing and start moving, I swear to God, because it's like, yeah, I don't know the game well enough, but I do believe them when they say like there's more to it than the physical. But at this point right now, it's like falling more on the physical, and it's like she weighed them down.
I feel like reality shows in general, besides like shows that just don't incorporate like physical competitions, have just been relying more on like the physicality of it all, which is like kind of annoying, because then like people, I mean, it's annoying in like the sense of like people like Tiffany or people like say Jody from Big Brother 14, where you have these people who you know are like very good at the strategy of the game that are never going to win a competition because they have, 20-year-old guys in there who can win absolutely everything. I mean, I feel like it's part of the game, but like, I feel like in older seasons of both Survivor and Big Brother, the competitions just like were more like, I don't know, I'm going to bring up season 6 of Big Brother, like press a button down the longest. Like, that's it. Or like, see if you can hold on to this key the longest, as opposed to like do an obstacle course, or like see if you can like walk on this balance beam and do this. It's
you saying, okay, initially when you were saying this, I was like, okay, is it because you enjoy more of a strategic game or whatever? Because for me, I do enjoy that, but me coming from being an athlete, like I don't mind like I want to see the physical shit, but when you put it in the perspective that you just put it in, I'm like, yeah, that's true. It's like they're catering to 20-year-old
physical. Yeah.
Well, it's like it's most of the competitions have started to cater to the 20-something-year-old white male ex-collegiate athlete. And that's not really fair. Like, we need more of the puzzles and the random hold the button down, the quizzes, in order for it to become more fair overall, where it can be like the older people can play and someone with a physical disability could play. You know what I mean? Like, if we don't have that, then it isn't really fair, and it does become like kind of a different game, because then
it's not to say like, it's not to say like you can't have physical competitions, but I mean, if we look at, and this is more about Big Brother, but like I'm applying it to Survivor just in this instance, and this isn't to say Tiffany is going to be great at physical competitions. She's clearly not, but like my point is, it's not, I don't even see it as like making it easier for like, it makes it easier for everyone.
It just,
instead of like making it difficult to where like 2 people can do it. Like, I don't know.
No, for sure. And I was going to say originally when you were saying that, like, well, Big Brother, they tend to say it's more of like carnival games instead of like physical games, but it has changed. And in the past couple of seasons, they are more physical and they are less of like the carnival game type thing, whatever. I think it was Devon that, because she was on the challenge and on Big Brother, she said like, well, the challenge is more of like physical competitions, which makes more sense because the challenge originated from Road Rules and the Real World castmates coming onto a show, and those were all young 20-something-year-olds. You know what I mean? Like that's, so it's evolved and still stayed very physical, but like that makes sense. Okay, so we're catering to that age range and that athletic ability because that's what this was made for. But Big Brother, it was a social experiment competition. It wasn't supposed to be like who's the best athlete. You know, so I don't know, it's interesting. But yeah, so that was, I could see how people would have been frustrated with Tiffany like that, and she definitely is probably the main reason why the team lost that. But I also do like her, and then like obviously her social game's on point because
she survived
twice where it was like you easily could have said you made us lose so we can get rid of you, and there was a lot of people who, you know, all the males that felt that way, and she made it through. So she's doing something right. I don't know.
Yeah. And I feel like in the immunity challenge, obviously, oh gosh, what are the team names? Team Luvu and Uwa ended up getting, you know, immunity.
So we don't see anything about him this episode.
There's really, it was mainly focused on Yasa, which I personally liked because I feel like we didn't really get to like touch on them much. I feel like we kind of just glazed over it because we were mainly focused on like the other teams. I feel like Yasa didn't really get a lot of attention. Yeah. Obviously Abraham left, but like it was just kind of like
that was kind of it.
We mainly focused on Xander because he went up, you know, to the
So I don't know. I'm enjoying myself. I am learning by every episode, and
we're gonna get better.
We're gonna get better. We're gonna get there.
We're gonna know the cast. And like
once they're gone, once there's like 3 people left, it's fine. But yeah, I'm really liking it. I'm excited. It makes me want to watch past seasons, and definitely by the end of this season, I'm gonna get it, just like we did on
Amazing Race.
Yep. So give us time. We're enjoying.
We already mentioned, I think, before, but Amazing Race is continuing filming. So we were getting another season of Amazing Race, season 33.
I literally cannot wait. Anyways, if you want to keep getting our updates of, you know, Virgin Survivor recap, watchers. Or if you want to, you know, Celebrity Big Brother is coming in February now that the season just ended. The challenge is like halfway through right now. We're still working on that. We're probably going to review the most recent episode or season of The Circle. There's other stuff. We have a lot to say. We have opinions. If you want to hear them, like it, dislike it, leave a hate comment. We don't care. In the meantime, like, comment, share, subscribe.